Tremendous, lethal, volatile, earth-shattering sports talk will commence in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are live! Yes! Real live! The Doug Stewart Show coming to you live! On this Word on the Street Wednesday, thank you for joining your folk. Really do appreciate it. November 12th, 2014, and where the hell has the year gone? Yeah, I'm starting to see all of this Christmas stuff, and everybody's getting in a festive mood. It was just 2014 yesterday. We turned the clock. New Year's. My. Yes. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, that's 404-382-0338. And I may have said this yesterday, but today I really do mean it. We got a lot to get into. Yes. Oh, we're going to talk some college football. These playoff rankings just came out last night. Going to talk about Kobe Bryant. He earns a dubious honor. Dirk Nowitzki balling out of control. Some Georgia sports. Georgia. What else? LeBron James, Derrick Rose, all that type of stuff we are going to talk about today on The Live. It's the most interactive, the most fun show on the radio and the internet, the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so today I'm doing something real cool, real different, and I want y'all to help me make it go viral and to pass the word about it. Every day, I'm going to give you some free Stew Magic. Yes! You remember Stew Magic? If you're a Two Live Stews listener, a P1 listener, man, I mean, we had radio magic for over a decade. I mean, everything we touched, it almost turned to gold. So we started calling it Stew Magic. Anything we touched, it turned to gold. So what I'm going to do, all right, I'm going to try to do this every single day to pass a little bit of the Stew Magic and a little bit of the love. I'm going to shoot you out every single day on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is @TheDougStewartShow. Okay, my Twitter handle is @TheDougStewartShow. Every day on Twitter, I'm going to shoot you out a Doug Stewart Show fortune. Yes. So check out my fortune. I just posted it just now. Retweet it. And if you retweet it, you're bound to get some Stew Magic. Yes. So check it out on @TheDougStewartShow on Twitter. All right. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show, and it's a Word on the Street Wednesday. So obviously we're going to get into a lot of this college football talk. The new polls came out last night, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on that. Once again, NBA, NFL, whatever you want to talk about, it's your show. It's the people show. Make sure you continue to pass the word about it. We are in our 8th week. I think this is the 8th week, and I talked to somebody this morning, one of my boys, and he had no clue. He had no clue I was even doing the show. Yes, and this guy is in radio. I'm not going to tell you his name. And, you know, we're busy in our daily lives, so sometimes things miss you. And so do your folk a favor and tell one person, or at least tell 30 people, about the Live is the most interactive, the most fun show on radio. All right, so last night, the new seedings for the college football playoff rankings came out. And a couple of observations. Well, let me just run down the top 10. Number 10 is Ole Miss. Number 9 is Auburn. Number 8 is Ohio State. Number 7 is Baylor. Number 6 is Arizona State. Number 5, Alabama. 4, TCU. Number 3 is Florida State, and Oregon jumps Alabama to number 2. And number 1 is Mississippi State. Now, it's hard to even talk about this on this platform on radio because you don't have a visual. You can't go back and look at charts and see the strength of schedules and what teams have beat what teams. It's hard to keep track of. I'm just going to be real with you. It's hard to keep track of. I have 3 observations about this new poll which came out last night. Number 1, you do know that Baylor beat TCU, right? Okay? Now, don't forget that. Baylor beat TCU. Okay? Now, no, it may not have been on a neutral field. Yes, there were some crazy extenuating circumstances at the end of the game where they did beat them, but they did beat TCU. So I don't get that, how TCU is getting all this love, and TCU has had, I believe, and once again, this is all in the minutia of who beat who and the strength of schedule, this, that, and the other. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But I think TCU has like 3 quality wins as they're deeming them, and Baylor only has like 1 or 2. Okay, I get that. But they beat them on the field. Okay, there's no other truest sense of the equation than we beat you man to man, mano a mano. So I don't get that at all. The second biggest thing is, obviously, and this is what everybody's talking about, is how the hell did Oregon jump Florida State? And yes, Florida State's only got, quote, well, here we go again, 2 quality wins, and Oregon has 3, but Oregon lost at home to Arizona, and Florida State hadn't lost a game in 2 years. Like, I'm from the old school, okay? To beat the man, however that saying goes, to beat a man, you got to beat the man, as the great Ric Flair stated once upon a time. And Florida State hasn't been beat. Now, I know some of their wins are questionable, and it doesn't appear that they're as strong as they've been in the last couple of years, especially last year when they won the national championship, but they haven't lost a game. It's almost like this should be like an exception to the rule. We follow strength of schedule. We look at the dominance of your win. We look at all those different variables and factors, except for if you just won the national championship, didn't lose a game, and you're still undefeated. So I always believe Florida State should still be number 1, even though I think if they did play on a neutral field, I think Mississippi State is a better football team. I do believe that. But Florida State should be number 1 until all else, anything else changes. All right? And the last thing, the problem I got with this thing, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is I don't know in this equation that this committee is using if they're taking into account the talent. Okay? Feel me on this. And I haven't heard any conversation about this. I haven't heard, we hearing about all of these strength of schedules and quality wins, this, that, and the other. Yeah, you could have quality wins if your conference is inferior to another conference, i.e. the Big 12 compared to the SEC. Now, listen, we follow these recruiting guys every year, and for the most part, to a large extent, not all the time, these guys that rate these high school football players, they know what they're talking about. Like, it's not coincidence that Jadeveon Clowney is the number 1 player coming out of high school, and he eventually becomes the number 1 pick in the draft. Or Reggie Bush is the number 1 player in high school, and he's a top 5 pick. Or Mark Sanchez, or Carson Palmer. They kind of know what they're doing. And I don't think, this is one thing that I haven't really heard anybody talk about. I really don't think they're taking into the equation the fact that TCU, their rosters are probably loaded with 2 and 3 stars. And Alabama and Auburn, their talent is probably across the board 4 and 5 stars. Okay? And that's pretty much the talent level for most of the big upper echelon teams in the SEC. Okay? So, damn it, it's almost like they're trying to find a way to make this thing all inclusive, to get all these other teams in the other conferences. And I don't have any problem with that. But if you're beating teams with inferior talent, what does that mean? It's almost like if you're a 1A high school and you go undefeated for 5 years, but then you line up against a 5A team and get beat by 50 points, what the hell does that matter? What does it matter you win all of those games? So I don't know how much they're taking into account the talent level of these teams. TCU, that's cute, but damn, TCU never in the top 10 rankings for talent when they sign these players every year. I don't get that. I don't know at what point do they start factoring that in. It seems like they're not factoring that in. Yeah. So it's almost like this anti-SEC bias sentiment going on right now. The SEC has been so dominant over the last couple of years, and then you got these guys like Joey Galloway, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You got these guys like Joey Galloway and all of these pundits and these guys that played in other conferences, and they're trying to find a way to diversify this thing. Yeah, diversification is good in the workplace if you work in corporate America, but we want to see the best teams in college football on the field. And right now, what I see is a lot of politics. I see the SEC getting screwed with a monkey member. That's the best way I can clean that up. Yes. And so I don't know what's going to happen. And let me say this, and you are listening to the Doug Stewart Show. It's probably going to work itself out. But what if it doesn't? Okay? What if it doesn't? Then whether it's a 2-loss Ole Miss team losing a spot to a 1-loss or no-loss team in another conference, I think that means something, man. Look at the players. Look at the players. Use your eyes. If you follow college football, you can tell players and not players. Or you can tell one brand of player compared to another program's brand of player, and the talent level, and the number of stars. The number of stars mean thing, and it means something. And a lot of people don't like that. And it's all about what you do in the field. But damn it, if you playing other weak teams with weak talent, what does it mean? Think about it. All I'm saying is, a great funk band said it one time: free your mind, and your ass will follow. That's all I'm saying, man. Come on, man. TCU. Oregon? Now, Oregon is probably going to have the opportunity to prove me wrong on the field because it looks like everybody and their mama love Oregon. They're trying to find a way to get Oregon in this thing. We'll see. This is the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, that's 404-382-0338. Get it out, man. It is a Word on the Street Wednesday. Whatever you want to talk about. What are your thoughts on this playoff thing? And once again, it's probably going to work itself out. I get that. It's fine. But right is right. Right is right, man. I don't know, man. It's kind of shaky to me. Listen, Martin Jacobson. You know who Martin Jacobson is? Martin Jacobson is this year's World Series of Poker champion. The man walked away with $10 million. I'll tell you a little story later. I'm somewhat of a poker player myself, or I thought I was, but yeah, I would love to play poker for a living. What's your dream job? If you could have your choice at the job of a lifetime, what would it be for you? For me, it would be poker. I would be doing what Martin Jacobson's doing, winning money, playing a game, poker. But obviously I'm not that great. I'll tell you about that later. But what's your dream job? That's the Doug Stewart Dougie Daily. All right, don't go anywhere. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Text the Pete Hot Sauce. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit about the college football pairings and playoff pairings, and also we'll talk about Kobe being Bryant. And folks got new reason to kill him. We'll talk about that, LeBron James, and a lot more. Don't go away. It's the Doug Stewart Show. This your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and a fully encompassed prepaid legal benefit that includes identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. All right, I know the deal. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right, billions with a B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one source, a Facebook shopping application, a mobile-optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on the link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the app link for details. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at you both. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your folk. Yes, make sure you tell at least 5,000 people. I just felt it just now. I think the last number I was at, realistically, was like 140. And just now, the stew magic just hit me. And I'm asking you to tell 5,000 people about the livest, the most interactive, the most fun show on radio and the internet. We're doing big things around here, man. We are doing big things. Having a lot of fun and doing what we do. This segment is brought to you by DraftKings. Yes, DraftKings, man. Go to my website, thedougsstewartshow.com, and click on their banner link and set you up an account. Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. So check out DraftKings, all right? We're talking about the college football pairings that came out last night. Also, what's your dream job? I talked about it in the last segment, and this is the Word on the Street Wednesday. I talked about it in the last segment how my dream job would be to play poker like this guy, Martin Jacobson, Swede dude. He just won the World Series of Poker last night, and he bagged $10 million, a real nice, fancy bracelet, and bragging rights. And, poker's been a phenomenon in this country really over the last probably 10, 15 years. But I was playing poker before it was popular. I was playing Texas Hold'em. When I first started playing, I used to play stud poker. And I used to take trips to Vegas and to Biloxi, Mississippi, Atlantic City, and I'd play poker. And nobody was studying poker. Nobody was paying attention to poker. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, like overnight, poker became very, very popular. And so recently, I've been in a situation where I haven't been getting a paycheck over the last couple of years. So I said I was going to take my poker game to the next level. And, that didn't work out. And I play these weekly games with a group of guys that I'm familiar with, that I'm friends with, and they have a nice little poker game. And so started going over there, and then I started noticing something. Every time I left, I was depressed. Every time I left, I was getting cracked over the head. I mean, you can study and you can watch all of the videos and study this, that, and the other. But pretty much if you're not a mathematician and you have a great poker face, you're going to get your skull cracked in that poker. And I mean, just miserable. You know how it is. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You know how it is when you leave the casino and you've lost next month's rent. You know how it is, okay? You've lost next month's rent and all types of things start running through your mind. What's my wife going to say? I just took food off the kids' table. I can't afford this. What am I doing? I haven't worked in 2 years. You're a dummy. Yes, almost start things running to you through your mind at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's almost like that episode of Sanford and Son when Lamont was getting hustled and Fred was trying to tell him, deal the card, Lucius. And we're calling Lamont everything but Lamont. Go ahead. Come on. You want to play some cards with us, Leroy? So, Yeah. So that's my dream job. So that's the Dougie Daily question today. If you had your choice of jobs, what would be your dream job? From Scotty says, my dream job would be Kim Kardashian's personal photographer. Have you seen that picture of Kim Kardashian? Kardashian that's floating around? It's like she took it for some magazine. I think it was called Brown Paper Bag or something like that. And like she's showing her whole ass. Yes. Like, I mean, it's almost like that episode of Martin. You know, I like my girls classy, not showing all the assy. and I mean, I guess she's fine as all get up. And I guess Kanye doesn't care. But dang, man, I mean, come on, leave something for the imagination. I think the great Tupac said that. Leave something for the imagination, but I guess that's how she pays the bills. That's how she pays the bills, and she just went all out. I mean, Google that picture of Kim Kardashian. From K-Mac, he says, dream job is simple. High school baseball coach. It's a dream because they don't make enough money, so I can't do it. Yes. And actually, that was my intention when I went to college. I wanted to major in PE, and I wanted to be a high school football coach. Okay. And then I started observing things. Okay. And in particular, college football, you know, college football coaches, they never get a chance to breathe. They're working basically 24 hours a day. And even high school, to make a good living, to be a high school coach, you got to be like one of the top coaches in the state. And then you're talking about very low six figures or high, five-figure jobs. So to be a coach, a high school coach, you got to have a passion for it. You can't be trying to get rich. And that wasn't something that really was attractive to me after I realized how much money coaches make and the amount of hours that they put in. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Kobe Bryant made history Tuesday night, setting the NBA record for missed field goals. Yes, the Los Angeles Lakers star set the mark with 6:22 left in the fourth quarter of a 107-102 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. He missed a 14-foot fadeaway jumper from the left side, giving him 13,418 career missed field goals, one more than the Boston Celtics' John Havlicek. What I will say to this, and I know people always believe that I'm bumping for Kobe Bryant because I'm a Laker fan. I just try to keep this thing in perspective. If Kobe Bryant has more missed shots than anybody else, first of all, it probably does say he's a ball hog. But it also says that he's had the ultimate green light. He has over his career. And also what it says is if you take that many shots and you miss that many shots, the fact that you continue to do it and that you're allowed to do it and you still have said green light, really the franchise is cool with that. You get what I'm saying? And probably along the way, you've won, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of comes with the job, with the title. You shoot a lot, you're going to miss a lot. And some other guys that are on this list, Karl Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, all of those guys are on this list with missed shots because these guys had the green lights. These guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. They're some of the best players to ever play the game. So just put it in perspective is all I'm saying. I mean, let's just keep it real. And also on the flip side, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The great Dirk Nowitzki, man, passed Hakeem Olajuwon into 9th place on the NBA's all-time scoring list Tuesday night. Man, Dirk Nowitzki, you talking about a great, great player. And maybe at some point we'll do a Dougie Daily on the greatest international players in basketball. A guy that comes to mind for me, I think that really, came before all of this influx of international players in the NBA in particular, is the great Dražen Petrovic. You remember him? Just a sharpshooter. I think he played for the Nets, got killed a while back, died in a car crash, I believe. But Petrovic was a beast. I mean, he would shoot it up. He's kind of like pretty much the guy that I think that I can remember that opened up the doors for a lot of these foreign players and these international players. So, Dirk Nowitzki, Ball Award goes to the great Dirk Nowitzki. And I always had this thing talking about guys that, are first ballot Hall of Famers, are real Hall of Famers. Guys that aren't in the Hall of Very Good, but guys that should be in the Hall of Fame. And Dirk Nowitzki's got a ring, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki is one of the best players ever, skill-wise. I mean, probably the first, I'm trying to think of another 7-foot European player or another 7-foot player, period, that had a game like Dirk Nowitzki. I was about to say Kevin Garnett, but Kevin Garnett, KG, is more of a low post player. Kevin Garnett's not the type of guy that, like, can stand back behind the three-point line and just drain it all day long. And got just, like, crazy skill set, can handle the ball. Dirk Nowitzki is that dude. So, yeah, he's the number one all-time scoring leader for international players, man. Dirk Nowitzki, Ball Award goes to him. If this was Monday, I'd give him a Ball Award. 404-382-0338 from Savalas. What that also tells me is that Kobe has played a lot of basketball games. He has went deep into the playoffs just about every year of his career, except last year, the year they had Smush Parker. That's exactly right. What's this, Kobe's 19th year? The guy's played a lot of basketball, and they're always in the playoffs. Damn, they're always in the Western Conference playoffs. Damn, they're always in the finals. So the guy's played a lot of basketball. I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm just telling you the other side of the story. The other side of the story is this guy's played a lot of basketball, and this guy has a green light brighter than anybody else probably ever in the history of the game, outside of Michael Jordan. I mean, it is what it is, all right? This is the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. Hit me up on the Spreaker chat, as well as give me a call at 404-382-0338. Make sure you go to my Twitter page. My Twitter handle is @the Doug Stewart Show. And retweet today's Doug Stewart fortune. Yes! And get some of this stew magic, all right? All right, up next on the Doug Stewart Show. We'll take your calls, read your chat. I'll also talk a little bit of Georgia sports. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about what the Falcons got going on this weekend as well. The Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia Tech. We'll get all into that and do whatever you want to do. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Texas Pete Hot Sauce. It's the Doug Stewart Show. Business owners. Advertise Unlimited is one of the few national flyer and door hanger distribution companies that service every market in the U.S., promoting your grand opening or special event, as well as creating brand recognition amongst the public. Here's what they do. They deliver your printed ad or promotion to the front door of your targeted customer. The beauty is they outperform direct mail advertising, and your ad doesn't get lost in the mailbox. Now, isn't that what really matters? Boom! The most professional, reliable distribution teams in the business, and they also provide real-time proof of performance for all campaigns. An A rating with the Better Business Bureau, and were voted one of the fastest-growing companies in the U.S. by Inc. magazine. Advertise Unlimited has the capability to print and distribute up to 20,000 flyers or more for less than the price of a stamp. Use the promo code DSS and get an extra 10% discount on your initial campaign. So, give them a call at 1-866-369-9003. Again, that's 1-866-369-9003, or check out their website at goadvertiseunlimited.com and make your advertising dollars count. Yes! You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right, billions with a B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobile-optimized website, and much, much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the app link for details. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com, and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your folk.
Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yes!
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you very much for joining you, folk. Yes, and this is a Word on the Street Wednesday, and we're talking college football, we're talking NBA, Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki. We're doing all of that stuff today. In a second, we'll talk a little bit about some Georgia sports. The Atlanta Falcons got a big one this weekend. It's crazy. The Falcons still got a big one, and we're talking in terms of a big one for a team that's struggling as bad as they have been. But, yes, they still got a shot. The number is 404-382-0338. Once again, 404-382-0338. Are you a company out there that thinks that the Doug Stewart Show and your company would be a good partnership? Huh? If you do, I mean, think about it. Sports and fun and Two Live Stews brand and your product, your company, whatever you're trying to sell. Guys in their mid-ages, 35 to 55, sports, like I said. I mean, email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. And let's do some business, man. We are doing some fantastic things, some great things, man, some tremendous things. So, holla at your boy, and let's talk about doing some business. This segment is brought to you by 911 Tax Relief. Get Uncle Sam off your back. Yes, go to my website, thedugstewartshow.com, and click on their banner link. And, if you got some tax issues, go to my website, click on their banner link, and check out 911 Tax Relief. All right. The number is 404-382-0338. Oh, before I forget, did you see Rand University last night? The 30 for 30 on Randy Moss? Tremendous. Now, the only problem I had with it is, some of these 30 for 30s have been very, very long. I guess they eked in as much of this story as they could in 1 hour. Like, this almost seemed to me like it could have been one of those 30 for 30s where they went an hour and a half or whatever. I think the one they did on the University of Miami, I think that was longer than an hour. It seems like there was a lot more that they could have talked about. I guess they handled it very good, and they addressed everything that needed to be addressed and talking about Randy Moss and where he came from. I get that. But I guess I just wanted more because I'm that much of a Randy Moss fan. The thing that jumped out at me about this Randy Moss story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, it was very eerie to me how alike Randy Moss's history and Allen Iverson's history was. I mean, very, very eerie that these are two of the greatest players in their respective sports, and very easily, we as sports fans could have not even heard of them. If a couple of things didn't go their way, and also if they didn't have supreme talent as well, you got to mix that in there as well. If the ball bounced the wrong way for these guys, pun intended, we may not have ever even seen these guys. Yeah, and we had heard the stories, and I had heard the stories of Randy Moss, and supposedly he had signed for Notre Dame, and then he was supposed to play for Florida State. Like that footage, and I don't know why, but that footage of Randy Moss in spring practice, I guess it was, for Florida State, I'd never seen that. I had never seen him wear a Florida State uniform. But he was actually down there. I had heard that he had got kicked out of Florida State. He got kicked out of Notre Dame. But I never seen the pictures of him with the Notre Dame hat on. I didn't know that he'd actually signed with Notre Dame. I thought something had happened where he had gotten in trouble and Notre Dame didn't even offer him the scholarship. So it kind of cleared up a lot of things about the history of Randy Moss. And my. I mean, God smiles on fools and babies. That's the way that story goes. And think about if Allen Iverson and Randy Moss would have zigged where they should have zagged. Or these attorneys that they had representing them in both of their cases. And to sum it up, if you didn't see it, I'm not going to tell the whole story. Obviously, you can see it yourself. But Randy Moss, in the same scenario as Allen Iverson in high school, got into a fight, got kicked out of school, had to do jail time, and lost the scholarship, lost the second scholarship, and was basically at his last chance. Literally at his last chance. Was messing with white girls. That's not cool in West Virginia. It was a real problem. Smoking an ass of weed. I mean, just a lot of issues with Randy Moss that came to light last night. And a fantastic series, man. 30 for 30. And I talk about it all the time. Just great stuff, man. Just great stuff. And it's kind of expanded, if you paid attention. That 30 for 30 really, to me, and I believe it's the order, that 30 for 30 kind of spurned off that E60, okay? And I talk a lot of smack about the Puppet Factory, but one thing the Puppet Factory does is they have quality content. And they spend money on quality content, and they do those shows fantastic, man. They do them fantastic. So kudos to ESPN for getting that right, man, and a very interesting, intriguing story, man. And I said it last night on Twitter, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Randy Moss's story and Allen Iverson's story, every town got one or 20. Yes. I got a guy in my head right now. I can see his face. The exact same stories, but guess what? His story went the other way. And there's probably 1, 2, 5, 20 guys like that in your town listening to me right now. You know the story. And there's probably been so many guys that could have been Hall of Fame type players. But once again, they zigged where they should have zagged. All right. And yeah, Allen Iverson, in particular, and Randy Moss, and watching this story last night, they need to just thank their lucky stars. Like, they need to be on their knees every single moment because it could have been so different. It could have been so different. 404-382-0338. What do you think about that as well? And we're also talking about your dream job. The World Series of Poker champion was crowned last night, and Martin Jacobson. And that's my dream job. I would love to do that. I would love to play poker for a living. If I could win consistently, you got to be, that's a very volatile job, man. Relying on some damn cards to turn up in your favor. So that's what we're talking about today on the Dougie Daily is what's your dream job. Yesterday, the Atlanta Falcons released some new pictures, and not really pictures. They're kind of like artist renderings, I guess, of the new stadium. And it's not going to be done until 2017. And it looks very good. And if you've seen the AJC and you've seen these papers, by the way, what the hell did the AJC do with their new format? With the new setup of the paper, it's kind of confusing. Yeah. But anyway, so the Falcons, they show a lot of these new sketches and renderings of the new stadium, and it looks like my grandmama would say, it looks real fancy. The problem though is you got to win games. Yes, you got to win games. You talk about a somber moment is if the Falcons, go 8-8 or 7-9, or whatever, or 6-10, and then you try to sell that, to a fan base. His team is really struggling. That's really, really tough. Yeah, so they got to get it together. So I think for more so than anything else, you're going to probably see wholesale changes. Even if the Falcons do somehow miraculously make it into the playoffs, I think you're still going to see wholesale changes because Arthur Blank's got to keep spirits up. He has to keep spirits up. So whether that's a new coach, whether that's getting rid of some players and bringing in some other big name players or whatever, free agents, they're going to have to do something. This stadium is nice, but it's not that nice that we're going to go down there as fans, I believe, and support a bad product. And so, yeah, look for heads to roll. And I'm not even saying that Mike Smith isn't a great coach. Even the coordinators, Cutter and Nolan and those guys, I'm not saying that. They fallen on hard times and it just hadn't worked. I mean, the definition of insanity is doing something the same way and expecting a different outcome. So more so than anything else, when you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, something's going to have to happen down there at the Georgia Dome because it's just not working. This weekend, the Atlanta Falcons take on the Carolina Panthers. That's a 1 o'clock kick. Obviously, we will talk more about that the closer we get to the weekend. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets hosting the Clemson Tigers this weekend. Tech's got a lot to play for. 7-2 on the year, or 8-2 on the year. Clemson 7-2 on the year. So a lot to play for. Still trying to win that Coastal Division. So they host the Tigers. And also, you know about this. It doesn't have as much luster as it had before you lost one. you basically, doo-dooed one against the Florida Gators. But the Georgia Bulldogs host the Auburn Tigers. Auburn still got a lot to play for. If a couple of these teams ahead of Auburn were to lose some games, and Auburn continues to lose, but lose close games. Both of the games that Auburn's lost have been fairly close games, okay? And so maybe by some type of miracle, Auburn can stick around and get into one of those Final Four spots. I don't know, but so those are your big games this weekend in Georgia football. The number is 404-382-0338. Once again, 404-382-0338 from Dale Thornton. He says, dream job, definitely play 4 rounds every weekend of golf and get paid to do it. I second that. Yes, that would probably be my second opportunity, my second choice for dream job. Playing golf. But have you ever played so much golf where you tired of it, you just need to take a break? And I guess those guys, those pros, they play so much and they have an off season. Technically, they do have an off season. And they come back and they're refreshed and they're ready to go. But yeah, man, I play this little golf tournament every year with a bunch of dudes I went to college with, a bunch of my frat brothers. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And we play what they call Ironman golf. We play 4 rounds in 2 days. And by that 4th round, I am dead. Yes. But yeah, playing golf, all in all, would be just a dream job, a fantastic job. But you got to be super elite to play at that level. I got a frat brother who was like the national HBCU golfer of the year 2 years in a row. And it's just tough. It's a tough business to get endorsements. That's the name of the game, is getting endorsements and being seen. And having one of the big companies back you. That's what you can have skills galore. And this guy consistently shoots low 70s, But it's not all about how good you play. And we know a bunch of guys. Every one of us listening right now knows a bunch of guys that are great golfers. But you got to be a super stupid great golfer to play on the PGA. Yeah, but that would be a dream job. 404-382-0338, 404-382-0338 from Savalas. Laugh out loud. I hate the new AJC format. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. They need to go. It's almost like new Coke. Huh? I'm sure they're getting a lot of complaints about this new format and the way their new website looks and functions, because it's confusing. It's very confusing. Yes, that was one of the best 30 for 30s I've seen. I didn't know he had to overcome so much. He could have turned out like his boy that is on the streets now. Yes. And once again, not giving too much of it away. It's a documentary type show anyway. But yeah, it kind of chronicled him and 2 of his best friends, 2 of the best players on his high school team, and how different their paths were. And once again, everybody's got a story of that dude in their hometown. Yeah, I know I do. There's a couple of them. So very good stuff last night on ESPN. All right, the number is 404-382-0338. When we get back from the break, we'll continue to talk about anything you want to talk about. I'm throwing out a lot of stuff about college football and the playoffs. Talk a little Georgia sports. Kobe Bryant's in the news. You want to talk about that? We can do it. As well as when we get back from the break, man. The NBA disses LeBron James. We'll talk about that. And your boy Derrick Rose. I told you Derrick Rose got Kool-Aid run through his veins. And I love him. But Derrick Rose, man, is one short of being called the biatch. Yes, I'll tell you about that when we get back. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Got an injured player? No problem. At DraftKings.com, it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on your way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Get free entry into their $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend where first place takes home 10 grand. Head to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code Spreaker to play for free. DraftKings.com, bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
What is 9/11 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 9/11 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on the link on my website and let 9/11 Tax Relief help you in your situation with your uncle, better yet known as Uncle Sam. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at you both. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yes!
Sucker Sports Talk host can't hide. Now back to the Doug Stewart Show.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show, the show for the people. Yes, thank you for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. You can email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. You can also call the show at 404-382-0338. This is the livest, the most interactive, most fun show in America. If you're a business owner out there and you'd like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show, we'd like to partner with you. Email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by Advertise Unlimited. That's right. Their website is goadvertiseunlimited.com. Once again, that's goadvertiseunlimited.com. They can hit over 20,000 houses. You know what the premise is? It's door-to-door marketing. What they do is they go all over America, any place in this country, and put the little door hanger marketing flyer things on your door handle, and it's great marketing. If you get an email or direct mail, you just throw it in the trash. Email, you just junk it. You know what I'm talking about. So this is a great hand-to-hand type of marketing, and the guys at goadvertiseunlimited.com are one of the best companies in this country to do it, so check them out at goadvertiseunlimited.com. You can give them a call at 866-369-9003. Once again, that's 369-9003. All right, the number is 404-382-0338, and this is a Word on the Street Wednesday. We're talking college football. If you're just joining us, I'll tell you my thoughts on the new rankings that came out last night by the selection committee in college football. We'll also talk a little bit about Kobe Bryant. He's in the news. Talk a little bit about Georgia sports. And the Falcons got this new stadium, but they better start winning some games. I don't care how much money you spend or how much money you put into it, whatever. You got to win games. And it's not a good look if you're coming into the 2017 year, this new stadium, and the team is struggling like it is right now. And also the Dougie Daily question is, what's your dream job? Kind of got this question. This dude, Martin Jacobson, won the World Series of Poker last night. Congratulations to him. He won $10 million. Wow. And I talked about how my dream job would be to play poker, and I'm not pretty good at it. I'm not good at it at all, really. And I talked about how I had started playing poker real, I guess I would call it seriously, once, twice a week in these little house games and tournament games. And then just one night I realized that driving home depressed after I had lost the money that was going to buy groceries the next day, I am sick. I am sick. I am stupid. Like, these cats are really killing me. And my man just summed it up perfectly on Twitter. And you can hit me up on Twitter at The Doug Stewart Show. He summed it up perfectly. He says, damn, Doug Stewart, if you don't see the fish at the table, then you're the fish. Laugh out loud, chip up. Yes. And after a little while, I started to realize it, that I was the damn fish. Yes, I was the sap. Okay, I was the patsy. And these cats was taking my money, and then I just cut it off. I really hadn't played poker with the dudes I used to play with in probably like 8 months. And I know maybe a couple of them are listening right now, and they're laughing to themselves, yeah, you were the fish. You were the fish. So, yeah, if I could play good enough, I think playing poker for a living would be fantastic. So that's my dream job. So we're talking about that today, having a little fun with that. What's your dream job? In honor of Martin Jacobson winning the World Series of Poker last night, all right? Also, man, if you haven't heard, remember LeBron James had that triple-double the other night against the New Orleans Pelicans, 118-111 win over Anthony Davis's team. He had a triple-double, 32 points, 12 boards, and 10 assists. Not so much. They pulled away one of his assists, and so the triple-double is no more. And I've always asked that question, and I've never really got a straight answer, or I haven't been able to find it. Maybe I asked the question just in general and didn't take the time to go look for the answer. But somebody shoot me the answer to this. If you're one of those referees or you're one of those statistician type dudes or whatever, what constitutes an assist? Like, if you pass the ball to a guy and he takes a shot, clearly that's an assist. But at what point does it not become an assist? At what point do you pass the ball to the dude and he dribbles for about 2 or 3 minutes and then he takes a shot and makes it? When do you get the assist and when don't you get the assist? Yeah. So LeBron kind of got caught up in one of those little type situations with his recorded triple-double. And so they pulled the triple-double off the board, I guess, for their historical stats. Yeah, so very interesting story right there. And also, if you haven't heard about this, your boy Derrick Rose in the news, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Derrick Rose, when asked how satisfied he is with his game, the former MVP offered a glimpse into how much his mindset has changed since the injuries and everything started to pile up on him. Here's a quote from Derrick Rose. He says, "I'm good, man. I felt like I've been managing myself pretty good. I know a lot of people get mad when they see me sit out or whatever, but I think a lot of people don't understand that when I sit out, it's not because of this year." Huh? I'm thinking about long term. I'm thinking about after I'm done with basketball, having graduations to go to. I guess he's talking about his kids. Having meetings to go to. I don't know what the hell that means. You can go to a meeting with a bad knee. I don't want to be in my meetings all sore or be at my graduation all sore just because of something I did in the past. I'm just learning and being smart. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. And all of these people out there that were arguing on the behalf of Derrick Rose, after hearing that statement, do you still hold the same sentiment? Seriously. I mean, seriously. Because what this guy sounds like to me is, I don't know, a biatch. Yes. Dude, you're getting paid like a lot of money. You know that, right? You're like the face of the league. You know that, right? And now we're not talking about concussions or anything like that. He's talking about injuries sustained where he could get fixed, whether it's a blown out knee or bad ankle or whatever. He's had a lot of ankle issues seemingly this year. The guy is basically saying that he's not going out there to play. And now keep in mind, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. Okay, being injured means you can't play. Being hurt means that you can play. You're not going to be comfortable, but you can play. And I remember a couple of years ago when there was an injury situation with this guy, and there was a question on whether he could come back and play. He had come back. He had hurt his knee. and it's been like a year later, and he could come back and play. The doctors are saying he's good. It was one of those ACLs. He could play. He may not have had the burst that Derrick Rose has, but he could play. He could help his team, and everybody was saying, well, if he's not 100%, he shouldn't come back and play. What? They paying you a lot of money, dude. You got to come back and play. And so that kind of gives you a glimpse into this guy's mind. And I love Derrick Rose. I think he's a phenomenal player. The guy won a freaking MVP. But, dude, you got to understand, this is how you make your money. This is the deal that you signed. And if he can play, he needs to be out there. Period. And if your ankle's sore, but you can still go and you don't play, that's bad. Yeah, if you got a slight pull growing or a hamstring, but you can go, you can play, but you don't, that's horrible. And so I think a lot of people, and this is getting a lot of conversation in the social network world, and they're talking about it today on the Puppet Factory on First Take. I see them talking about it earlier this morning, and yes, yeah, I mean, this isn't good. This is not good, dude, and I don't know if it kind of talks about the spoiled athlete today and the fact that these contracts in the NBA are guaranteed or what, and these players are more conscious of their brand and all the business that goes along with it. But, dude, if you can play, you play. I mean, really, outside of before you start the season, before training camp starts, who's not, hurt? I mean, who's 100%? Nobody. Before you start 2-a-days in football, workouts for basketball, spring training in baseball. Before then, you're healthy. Okay, you're 100% pretty much. Almost, that's what you want to be. But when you come into the season, pretty much after the first day, you're sore. And that's what this guy is talking about, being sore. I mean, it's no different. Maybe his soreness is a little bit more than anybody else, but you're sore. And they need you. They're trying to win a championship, and you can play and you don't? Man, come on, miss me with that. Like the young kids say, miss me with that. No, that's horrible. 404-382-0338. When we get back from the break, we'll be in the second hour of the show, and we'll talk a little bit about the college football playoff pairings the committee came up with last night. I got issues with them, man. So we'll go back and we'll talk about that, continue to have fun, take your calls, read your chat. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce. Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. I mean, stay right there. Damn it. Don't move.
The Doug Stewart Show is off and running. But just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at you both. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Yes! I'm always saying get with the times. Stop acting like you at your mama house, calling that girl you met at summer camp 2 states away, and your mama screaming out, I know you better not be talking long distance on that phone running up my bill with that old hussy. Well, get with the times with your long distance charges. Presenting Univon. Univon offers unlimited worldwide calling to 60-plus countries for $14.99 a month. No contract, no activation fee, and no cancellation fee. Users can call anytime using their mobile phone or home IP phone. So stop flushing money down the drain. Get more details by clicking Univon's link banner on thedougstewartshow.com or the link on the DougStewartShow.com app. Try out Univon and call your people like you not at your mama house. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right, billions with a B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobile-optimized website, and much, much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for details.
This is hour number 2 on the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining you, folk. I really do appreciate it. Yes. Feeling good, feeling great. How about you? I'm like 98% past my little cold. And really, it wasn't a little cold because I was congested the whole week. Yes, from, I think I had like what my grandmom used to call a little touch of pneumonia. Knock on wood, because pneumonia will kill you. But yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good. And yesterday I said one more day and I should be good. I think one more day and I should be 100%. Yes. All right, the number to the show is 404-382-0338, 404-382-0338. And this segment is brought to you by AmeriCommerce. Everything you need to get your online store off the ground the right way. So go to my website, thedougstewartshow.com, and click on their banner link and, get going with that business, all right? And you can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com as well. Looking for people to partner up with the show. I mean, the show is off the chain. It's on fire. Yes, it's on fire, man. But I told the story in the first hour how I talked to a dude that I would consider a good friend. Now, you know me, I'm from the country. And so what that means is if we ever drink a beer together, I consider you a friend for life. And so a guy that I've drunk several beers with didn't even know the show was going on. I'm like, dude, we're in our 8th week, man. We doing big-ass things. I need you to tell people about the show and pass the word, okay? We're doing huge things talking about sports. So, yeah, if you're a company out there, you'd like to partner with us and get in on the ground floor, we'd love to partner with you. So email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and let's do some business. Let me read a couple of these chat messages. In the last segment, I talked a little bit about Derrick Rose and these comments he made, and they're not good. They're not good, man. He's basically showing apprehension about playing because of nagging injuries or being hurt. You know, not injured, hurt. I mean, guys play hurt all the time. And so Derrick Rose made these comments basically saying that, you know, he's trying to save himself or life after basketball and his kids and stuff that you'd hear dudes talk about, you know, when they receive a terrible concussion or some debilitating type injury where, I don't know, a Bo Jackson type injury where your hip comes out of place or whatever. Derrick Rose, he's not in that category. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about. From Scott, he says, them injuries have taken his heart. If he's worried about getting injured, it's just a matter of time before he gets seriously injured again. Yes, Scotty. And Scotty sounds like a guy that's played sports. And one of the sports axioms that you hear whenever, you know, from the smallest age is if you don't go full speed, you're probably going to get hurt. And if you're thinking without reacting, you're probably going to get hurt. And knock on wood, I hope this doesn't happen to Derrick Rose. But yeah, everybody and their mama knows that. You can't play scared. You can't play scared. You literally have to go balls to the wall. You have to. Because magically, and I don't know if it's the sports gods or what, but if you half-step playing sports, and football in particular I'm talking about, but any sport, if you're out there thinking about it and your mind isn't on just playing the game, chances are the sports gods are going to hurt you or inflict you with some type of injury. It just happens like that. From William Buck, Bron looking at the NBA like the dude in Boys in the Hood when Doughboy was trying to get Ricky's football back. I don't need your triple-double. I can get 100 triple-doubles. Yeah, you don't care about it. But, yeah, if you're just joining me as well, the NBA took away LeBron James' triple-double that he was penciled in for the other night against the New Orleans Pelicans. So took away an assist. And I'm still waiting for somebody to hit me up. You can hit me up on the Twitter or on the chat line or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. How do you get an assist? Like, at what point is it not an assist no more? A guy can't get a basketball and dribble it for 20 minutes, take a shot, hit it, and then the person that passed it to him 20 minutes ago get an assist. It can't work like that, right? It just can't. Also, last night, the College Football Playoff Committee came up with the new top 25. I'll just talk about the top 10. Ole Miss is at number 10. Number 9 is at Auburn. Number 9 is Auburn. Number 8, Ohio State. Number 7, Baylor. Number 6, Arizona State. Number 5, Alabama. Number 4, TCU. Number 3, Florida State. They're jumped by Oregon at number 2. And number 1 is the Mississippi State Bulldogs. A couple issues I got with this thing. Number 1, how does Baylor be behind TCU? They both have one loss, and Baylor beat TCU. Now, TCU probably has better quality wins, quote-unquote quality wins, but Baylor beat them on the field. That doesn't make sense to me. Also, how the hell do you beat the man, but you didn't beat the man? And I'm talking about this Oregon jumping Florida State. That's bootleg as hell to me. I don't get that. Florida State hadn't lost a game in 2 years. They got the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I don't get that at all. Oregon's got a loss. They already lost to Arizona, and they lost at home. How do you jump a team that hadn't lost in damn near 2 years? That's the current national champions. Like Ric Flair said, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. And Florida State, nobody's beat them. So I don't get that at all. I don't understand that. And also, I want to understand the value that they place in competition and the value they place in talent. All right? We're college football fans. We know how this works. We know that as you get the best players, if you recruit the best players historically year after year after year, you probably have a better team than a team that doesn't. Yeah. So TCU, you can look at their roster, and I'm pretty sure TCU is probably not in the top 15 as far as recruiting nationally average-wise over the last couple of years, but TCU's getting a lot of love. Like, on a neutral field, they would beat Alabama. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they would beat one of these teams out of the SEC. TCU's got a roster full of 2- and 3-star players, and Alabama's got a roster full of 4 and 5. Damn, they're all 5s. Yeah, so if everything's relative and both teams have one loss and one plays in the SEC, the other plays in the stinky Big 12, and one has a roster full of 5-star guys, and they got the other team has a roster full of 2- and 3-star guys, why are you giving them more love? And to me, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, to me it seems like that, there's like this sentiment out there to kind of negate what the SEC is doing. Like, people are tired of the SEC. They've been so dominant, okay? And you hear all these experts and these pundits talking about these other teams from these other conferences. It's almost like they're trying to find a way to fit in teams from the Pac-12, from the Big 10, from the Big 12. They're trying to find a way to get in your Oregons and your Ohio States, who Ohio State, I think, is another team who should, have claim to being a little bit higher. Ohio State's got one loss, and they're behind Baylor. Ohio State's historically been a better team over the last couple of years. Baylor, they're Baylor. Ohio State's only loss, even though it was a bad loss to a Virginia Tech team that we find out is not a good team, but Ohio State's Ohio State. And their one loss came from a quarterback, this J.T. Barrett kid that just got in there as a starting quarterback, didn't play his senior year of high school because of injury. So there's a lot of reasons on why, Ohio State, I believe, should be ranked a little bit higher. And I'm not an Ohio State fan. You know that. As a matter of fact, I despise Ohio State. But fair is fair. So, yeah, so to me it seems like there's some type of sentiment out there to try to diminish the value of the SEC and try to boost up on a pedestal these other conferences just to try to make it fair and so you don't piss off a lot of people. Damn the other people. I'm sorry. And if you're listening to the show right now and you disagree with me, why? Why do you disagree with me? I mean, am not what I'm saying true? Is it not true? I mean, it is. The SEC has just been a dominant conference. They play the most dominant brand of football. They have the best players on their teams, on their rosters. Just look at the numbers over the years. That's a fact. That's a fact. And even teams like Ole Miss and Mississippi State are now ranking or recruiting 4- and 5-star players. That's crazy. From Jersey Vern, get over it, Doug. Ohio State, yeah, whatever.
Jersey Vern also, Doug, you heard about Big Bad Hank passing Sugar Hill Gang? Yeah, that's horrible, man. Big Bad Hank, member of the famous legendary group, the Sugar Hill Gang, went home to glory yesterday. I did see that. I think he was 57 years old. Big dude, so I don't know. I don't think they listed what the reasons for the death was, but you can kind of imagine. So R.I.P. to Big Bad Hank. Wow. You talk about legendary, rapper's delight. Come on, man. Hip, hop, hip to the hip, hip, hoppy, you don't stop. Come on, man. I mean, every aficionado should know the story of the Sugar Hill Gang. I mean, really, the first commercial single probably in hip-hop history. So, yeah, pioneer, definitely a pioneer. 404-382-0338. Once again, it's 404-382-0338. This is the Doug Stewart Show. And so what are your thoughts on this college football ranking? And once again, really it's just what we do in guys, as we talk about sports and the barbershop and, all the things that go along with it. It's probably going to work itself out. I will say that. It's probably going to work itself out. Once again, Alabama, all they have to do is handle their business, and they will be fine. They will be tremendously fine. They will be. If they handle their business and they beat a tough Auburn team, they'll be fine. They'll be one of the teams in one of those Final Four spots. It should work out to where the best four teams in the country, and hopefully the committee gets this right, the best four teams in the country will vie for those spots, and we'll play an actual championship game through a playoff system. So definitely, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But just right now, it's just kind of making me nervous. It's just kind of making me nervous. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show from William Mack. Can we get that gangster lean drop for Big Hank? Big Bank Hank? No, we can't, because there's a royalty issue. There's a royalty issue. If you haven't noticed, if you're just joining me on the show over the last couple of weeks and you didn't listen to me at the very onset of the show, the start of the Doug Stewart Show, I talked about how I just ain't got it. I am not going to pay these exorbitant fees to play popular music on this show right now. But guess what? I see in the very near future we're going to be to a point where I feel like that it's okay. And then I'll start writing checks to play all of this good, cool music. We got decent music. I mean, but damn it, we talking about sports around here anyway. Yeah. So, and if you don't know the show, you remember DRS? I think the name of the group was DRS. They had this track called Gangsta Lean. So, yeah, do yourself a favor. After the show's over, go to YouTube and search DRS Gangsta Lean. It's an old school hood song from like 25 years ago. Very emotional, very good song. And whenever someone passed and went home to glory, I would play said Gangsta Lean. Yeah, don't go listen to it right now, though. Big Bank will be okay if you don't listen to it till after the show, all right? Don't go away. Up next on the Doug Stewart Show, man, I'll read more of your chat. We'll continue to have fun on this Word on the Street Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit about some NBA stuff. Yeah, Kobe Bean Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, whatever you want to get into. It's your show. I talk about a couple of different topics that are like at the top of the totem pole, but it's your show. You talk about whatever the hell you want to, all right? Don't go away. It's the Doug Stewart Show.
The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your folk. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yes! This your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current meta file, prescription savings, and a fully encompassed prepaid legal benefit that includes identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. I'm always saying get with the times. Stop acting like you at your mama house, calling that girl you met at summer camp 2 states away, and your mama screaming out, "I know you better not be talking long distance running up my bill with that little hussy girl." Well, get with the times with your long distance charges. Presenting Univon. Univon offers unlimited worldwide calling to 60-plus countries for $14.99 a month. No contract, no activation fee, and no cancellation fee. Users can call anytime using their mobile phone or home IP phone. So stop flushing money down the drain. Get more details by clicking Univon's link banner on thedougstewartshow.com or the link on the dougstewartshow.com app. Try out Univon and call your peoples like you not at your mama house.
Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Got an injured player? No problem. At DraftKings.com, it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on your way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Get free entry into their $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend, where first place takes home $10,000. Head to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code Spreaker to play for free. DraftKings.com, bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
What you gonna do when you get out of jail? I'm gonna listen to Doug Lee. It's the Doug Stewart Show.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is hour number 2 for the livest, the most interactive, the most fun show in America. Are you telling folks about it? I mean, have you passed the word? Have you told 643 people about the livest, the most interactive show in America? Man, I really would appreciate it if you do, because we're doing big things around here, all right? We're having fun talking about these sports. And, keeping it moving and keeping it real. That's the big thing, man. You know, ain't no puppets around here. It keeps it real around here. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. All right, let me read a couple of these messages on the chat line. Talking some college football, some NFL, some NBA stuff. Speaking of which, Dirk Nowitzki passed Hakeem Olajuwon into 9th place on the NBA's all-time scoring list Tuesday night. 17-year veteran. They got the big win over the Sacramento Kings. He needed 17 points to pass Olajuwon, and he did that. And I talked about earlier in the first segment that Dirk Nowitzki, to me, is a true Hall of Famer. Like, when you say Dirk Nowitzki, you just think Hall of Fame. It's as simple as that. You think Hall of Fame, fantastic player, skill set that we may not have ever seen before. I mentioned earlier how, in the comparison to Olajuwon, I think somebody got it twisted, or not to Olajuwon, to Kevin Garnett. I think somebody got it twisted and thought that I had said that he's a better player, or that I would take him before I would take Kevin Garnett. I'm not sure. It's damn near close, I'll say that. What I was saying is Kevin Garnett plays a different game than Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk Nowitzki is the first guy I can remember in the NBA that was 7 foot, long, lean, could handle a basketball like a guard, and could, rain three-pointers on you. Like, I can't think of another player that fits his body style and has his type of game. Like really, if you think about it, before Kevin Durant, it was Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, Dirk Nowitzki and Kevin Durant pretty much have the same game. I think Kevin Durant is probably a better athlete, more fluid. He's probably taken Dirk Nowitzki's game to the next level. But before you saw Dirk Nowitzki, can you name a 7'1" guy? And he's every bit of 7'1". I had the opportunity to meet the guy at the All-Star game a while back. I don't know what year it was. I think it was the same All-Star game that we went to when we won the pool tournament and in Houston, and he walked right by us in the little Radio Row area, and the guy doesn't even look real. He doesn't even look real. He looks so awkward, like the waist of his pants like came up, and I'm not tall, and if Ryan were here, he'd make some kind of short joke, but damn it, I'm not short. I'm average. and Dirk Nowitzki's like waist, the belt in his waist came up like to over my head. I'm like, this guy has some kind of freak of nature. Yeah. And so my point is his game and Kevin Durant's game or KG's game is totally different. KG is low block, and Dirk Nowitzki is the blueprint of something that we never saw before. At least I never saw it before. I mean, give me another guy that tall with that type game, okay? And I don't think you can give me one. I mean, you can talk about maybe some 6'8", 6'9" guys, but a 7-foot dude? Back in the day, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, back in the day, if you were 7 foot, you were automatically playing center. And I guess with Dirk Nowitzki, they would try to put some weight on him or whatever and make him into a center. And the European game is different than ours, and, they let those guys, turn into the type player they want, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, really the blueprint. Really the blueprint as far as that type of player, and you're starting to see taller and taller guys being able to handle the ball that'll step back behind the three and just, drain them, rain threes on you all day long. So that's what I was talking about. No disrespect to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett's a definite first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a true Hall of Famer, not a Hall of Very Good, a Hall of Famer, as I put it. So, but yeah, Dirk Nowitzki is that dude. From K-Mac, hey, Doug, where is Mel from Southwest Atlanta? I just asked the same thing. It says Mel has a Twitter account. Okay, Mel has a Twitter account, Mel_ in Southwest Atlanta. It's probably some fake Twitter account. But just in case, I'm going to hit Mel up a little bit later on the Twitter and have Mel call the show and bless the show. It's almost like a housewarming. The show's not going to be right until Mel gives me a call. Yes. From Jungle Brother, yo, Doug, I got 5 towards you paying Def Jam, Public Enemy, for that Welcome to the Terror Dome intro. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be more than $5, though. That whole publishing copyright thing is more complicated than you think. And trust me, at some point we're going to have what they deem popular music on this show, but just not right now. We got to crawl before we walk. But at some point, I'm going to have the flyest tunes that we used to play on the Two Live Stews on this show, but we got to crawl before we walk. I would love to rock nothing but Public Enemy all day long. You know I'm a fan, but no, we just can't do it right now. I can put that money somewhere else to progress this show. From King 50, bring it back for old times, Doug. I guess he's referring to the Public Enemy Terror Dome conversation. Who else we got here? G from Atlanta, Jersey Vern said, that's right. Where's G from Atlanta? And now and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. For new people that are just tuning into the show, didn't listen to the Two Live Stews because maybe you lived in a different city or something like that, and we weren't so heavy internet when we first started back in 2001. We had triple platinum listeners and callers, and these are people that call the show in the first week or 2 weeks that we started and helped us promote and called up with passionate sports talk takes. And G from Atlanta was either the first or the second caller to ever call our show, okay? And it was either him or Mike from Lost Mountain, and callers would call up and they'd give their call-in nickname or whatever. So you got Vern from Jersey, G from Atlanta, Mike from Lost Mountain, Kurt from Detroit, Bobby from what was Bobby's name? Bobby from Marietta. Yeah, Bobby from Marietta. Shouts out to Bobby from Marietta. So it was a long list of triple platinum listeners that we had. Now, this format's a little bit different, so we don't get as many calls. We get a lot of chat, but we're open to take calls, and we are doing the open line on this show. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, where basically you call the show, no call screener, no producer. You talk directly to me, and you spit out what you want to talk about, your name, where you're calling from, that type of thing, and I put you in the air. So show's a little bit different because it's online and not necessarily most of the callers are listening driving in their cars, which you can't listen driving your cars. It's a little bit different. We're more heavy chat, more Twitter. I get that. It's good. But, yes, I would love to hear from some of the old listeners to the Two Live Stews. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running. Yes! Doing big things on this show, man. So thank you very much. Continue to pass the word. If you know Vern or Bobby from Marietta or G from Atlanta, let them know your boy is doing the thing. He's doing the damn thing. Yes. This is the Two Live Stews, but it's one stew only. And one stew is better than no stew. Yes, most indubitably. You are listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the funnest, the realest, treeless sports talk show in America. That's bona fide. Yes, that is bona fide. When we get back from the break, we'll talk a little bit about Kobe Bean Bryant and what he's got going on. And also, LeBron James is in the news. And Derrick Rose, we'll touch upon that again as well. Got some more thoughts on Derrick Rose, man. Derrick Rose, I understand being hurt, and I understand the psychology of being hurt and having been hurt, but they paying you a king's ransom to play basketball, man. And it's a guaranteed contract. We'll talk more about it when we get back from the break, man. And also, did you see Rand University last night? The 30 for 30 on Randy Moss. We'll touch upon that as well. Whatever you want to get into, it's your show, the People Show, all right? So don't go away. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. It's the Doug Stewart Show. Business owners, Advertise Unlimited is one of the few national flyer and door hanger distribution companies that service every market in the U.S., promoting your grand opening or special event, as well as creating brand recognition amongst the public. Here's what they do. They deliver your printed ad or promotion to the front door of your targeted customer. The beauty is they outperform direct mail advertising, and your ad doesn't get lost in the mailbox. Now, isn't that what really matters? Boom! The most professional, reliable distribution teams in the business, and they also provide real-time proof of performance for all campaigns. An A rating with the Better Business Bureau, and were voted one of the fastest growing companies in the U.S. by Inc. magazine. Advertise Unlimited has the capability to print and distribute up to 20,000 flyers or more for less than the price of a stamp. Use the promo code DSS and get an extra 10% discount on your initial campaign. So, give them a call at 1-866-369-9003. Again, that's 1-866-369-9003, or check out their website at goadvertiseunlimited.com and make your advertising dollars count. Yes!
You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right, billions with a B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobile-optimized website, and much, much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for details. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your both. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yes!
Something sports talk hosts can't hide. Now back to the Doug Stewart Show.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, this is a Word on the Street Wednesday, and you are locked and loaded for the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Continue to pass the word. You got family in Texas? Tell them about the Doug Stewart Show. You got people in Des Moines, Iowa? Tell them about the Doug Stewart Show. If you got people in Anchorage, Alaska, tell them about the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, the last frontier. Yeah, the number is 404-382-0338. Once again, that's 404-382-0338. And just having some fun talking about our dream jobs. If you haven't heard, if you're not a poker aficionado, Martin Jacobson won the World Series of Poker last night. The dude won $10 million, so Ball Award goes to him. And it's not even Monday. He gets a Ball Award. Yeah, did the damn thing. So I was talking about how my favorite or my dream job is something that's one of my favorite things to do. And that's playing poker. I was playing poker before a lot of people started playing, before the craze hit. And I'm usually pretty good. I got lumped into a game where seemingly everybody else is better than me. And I didn't realize until after I lost a couple of stacks that if you sit at a table and you look around and you don't see the fish, you're probably the fish. But I realized it, and I hadn't played poker in probably 8-9 months. I keep saying I'm going to start back playing, man, but I got to get my game right. I just can't just be donating to people's college funds. I just can't do it. So we're having some fun with that today. What would be your dream job? If you had your choice of jobs, no matter what it may be, what would that job be? I've actually got a dream job right now. I had a dream job for the last decade or so with the Two Live Stews doing sports talk. After I decided, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, that I didn't want to be a coach, that they didn't make enough money, my goal was, number one, my goal was to be a sports agent. And that's why I moved to Atlanta, aligned myself with a couple of people, actually worked with a sports agency, and then that kind of morphed into managing acts in the entertainment business. So I've done all of that stuff, as well as maintaining a 9-to-5. And then this whole thing morphed into the Two Live Stews, the sports talk radio. And we've been told we've been pretty good at it, you know? And so love talking about sports, love talking smack, having a good time. So this is really a dream job for me. But another dream job would be playing poker. A guy also mentioned earlier, a dream job would be playing golf for a living. Yes, and I play a lot of golf. Not very good. I wish I could play good. But yeah, playing golf for a living, and if you're playing golf for a living, that means you're good, right? Being somebody that's on the PGA Tour and playing 4 rounds of golf on a weekend, every weekend for 6-8 months, that sounds fantastic to me, man. That sounds fantastic. So what's your dream job? If you had the opportunity to choose what you could do for a living, what would that be? Your boy Kobe Bryant made history Tuesday setting the NBA record for missed field goals. Yeah, that's not something you really want. Lakers star set the mark with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter of a 107-102 loss to the Grizzlies. He missed a 14-foot fadeaway jumper from the left side, giving him 13,418 career missed field goals. And Kobe talked about it after the fact, and you've heard Michael Jordan say as much, that, and Michael Jordan even had a commercial, I believe, where he talked about all the times that he failed, okay? And, yeah, I kind of put myself in the same conversation when you're talking about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Yes, but I really mean it. I have failed a lot, and a lot of you listening have failed. But guess what? Somebody told me this a long time ago. When you fail, look at it as one way you learn how not to do something, okay? You cross one thing off the list as far as what didn't work. And so you're that much closer to figuring out how something does work, all right? And so Kobe Bryant, in his situation, this guy has been giving the ultimate green light throughout his career. This guy's played a ton of basketball, gone deep into playoff runs, made it to finals. He's played Olympics. He's going to the Olympics. They don't count those stats, but you know what I mean? This guy's played a ton of basketball. He's taken a lot of shots in big-time situations, and I'm not bumping for him. I guess I kind of am, but the point I'm trying to make is, yes, he's missed a lot of shots, but he's got the hardware to show for it, okay? And a conversation comes up when you're talking about this type of thing about Brett Favre. You know Brett Favre is the all-time leader in interceptions thrown. And you know I'm not a Brett Favre fan. The difference I'll say about Brett Favre and about Kobe is their misses are different scenarios. Kobe's misses are missing shots. Brett Favre's interceptions lead to you losing games. You know, Kobe can shoot 40% for a game and still give you 30 and they'll win the game. You know, more so than Brett Favre throwing interceptions. So I think it's slightly different, but still in all, Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer as well. Okay, Brett Favre is one of the greatest players to ever play the game as well. So put it all in perspective. Some of the guys that Kobe just passed, John Havlicek from the Celtics, Elvin Hayes, Karl Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Michael Jordan. I mean, that's a pretty elite list. That's a pretty elite list. So, dubious honor to say the least, but yeah, he did that. And also, I talked a little bit earlier about Dirk Nowitzki, and the guy goes into the realm of most established and Hall of Fame type careers as far as international player. He passed Hakeem Olajuwon, who played for the Houston Rockets, as far as international players and points. Okay. Hakeem finished his career with 29,946 points, and your boy Dirk Nowitzki just surpassed him. He's got 26,953 in his career. There's still a lot of basketball to play, so obviously he's going to pass a lot of other guys on this list as well as far as international players and scoring. And so shouts out to Dirk Nowitzki, man. Fantastic player. I talked about him all day long. Great player. Tremendous skill set. The blueprint as far as that type of player, that tall, can handle the ball and can shoot shots. All right, 404-382-0338 from Jungle Brother. He says, my job or my dream job is to be a two live stews calling comedian like Ming or Lou Holtz. I could dish you, Doug, so I'd have to take shots at Waterhead Walter or some intern. He says, I couldn't dish you. I like that. You do impressions? If you do impressions, email your boy. Email your boy. Yes. Maybe we can talk about it. You got to be good, though. I'm not going to let you come on the show and do impressions and do bits and you suck. But if you are good, we can work something out. Jersey Vern says, my dream job is pimping. Here you go. From Jersey Vern, D-Rose needs to go see the Wiz to get some heart. I agree with that. And we were talking about Derrick Rose, some comments he made on yesterday, I believe it was. You know, basically talking about all this stuff. He's missing games with ankle, little slight pulls and sprains. And, you know, this guy's whole mentality is, I'm trying to protect myself for when I retire. Huh? What is Derrick Rose 25 years old yet? He got a lot of basketball to play. And he got a lot of money to earn based on what they paid this dude. And I know he's the hometown boy and this, that, and the other, but that's not a good look. Because, once again, there is a definite difference between being injured and hurt. Everybody plays hurt, okay? If you're injured, okay, if you got a broken bone or a torn ligament or something like that, you're injured. There's a big difference. But when you're hurt, you can play. You can play. I don't like that at all. And I've contended this for a long time. Whenever it was like a year had passed, and I can't remember the other player that was coming back to play, and he had been injured about the same amount of time, and he came back to play. And Derrick Rose continued to sit out because he wasn't confident in his knee. And all of the doctors and the experts were saying this dude can play. Like, what's his problem? So, yeah, I mean, he a little bit of the heart category is desired for Derrick Rose. All right, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show, caller. Where are you calling from? What's your name, and what do you want to talk about?
This is Triple Platinum T from Huntsville. So what's that?
T from Huntsville. What's up, baby?
Oh, man, just enjoying the show, man. Just enjoying the show. Hey, can I take exception with one of your takes right quick, man, if you don't mind?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Dirk Nowitzki, man. Great player, but let's not use the blueprint, the prototype dude. KG has the same skill set. It's only a little bit better. There's one difference. Dirk shoots from the outside as far as three-pointers, but he doesn't play in the paint.
Okay, but
here's
here's the question, Triple or Triple Platinum T from Huntsville. Who was in the NBA first? Dirk Nowitzki was before Kevin Durant, so Kevin Durant can't be the blueprint.
No, KG, sir. Kevin Garnett.
No, but Kevin Garnett plays a totally different game. Kevin Garnett doesn't shoot three-pointers. You haven't been listening. You haven't been listening. Oh,
no, I've been listening, sir. No, listen to me. You're talking about being able to handle the ball. KG handles the ball just as well. He just doesn't shoot three-pointers. Because he's supposed to be in the paint because he's a 7-footer.
Okay,
that's my point, though. Dude like 7'2", he doesn't even have a paint game.
But that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about a guy that has a perimeter game as well. Kevin Durant has a perimeter game that's second to none almost. Like Kevin Durant's perimeter game, and I appreciate the call, T from Huntsville. I still love you, but I disagree with you. Kevin Durant's or Dirk Nowitzki's perimeter game is that of like a point guard. He doesn't handle the ball like a point guard, but he shoots three-pointers, just a silky smooth touch. KD is a post player, or Kevin Garnett is a post player. I mean, there's no denying that. They play two totally separate games, all right? Kevin Garnett is a post player that doesn't shoot threes. Dirk Nowitzki is a perimeter player that will drain threes on your ass all day long, all right? There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference, and I love you, T from Huntsville, but you're wrong on this. 404-382-0338. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. From Roderick Pinson. When he retires, what's he going to build? Let it go. Yeah, I guess he's talking about Derrick Rose on this chat line. He's talking about Derrick Rose, and he's talking about when he retires, he's worrying about going to graduations and meeting and some old crazy mumbo-jumbo he was talking about. Dude, you ain't going to have to lift a finger when you're done playing basketball. You ain't going to lay no brick. What is Derrick Rose talking about? This guy is planning for his retirement. Like he's going to be digging ditches or something. Are you kidding me, Derrick Rose? You better get your ass out there on that Derrick court. If my mother was here, and this was 25 years ago, she'd say, you better get your ass out there on that court, Derrick Rose. That's insane. It's insane. And now he's on record saying that crap. You know, before it was speculation. You know, now he done opened up his mouth and removed all doubt. How's that little saying go? Fools and opening your mouth and removing all doubt. Yeah, he fell into that little trap. Unbelievable. All right, up next on the Doug Stewart Show, man. We'll break this show down, wrap up, and continue to have fun. All right, don't go away. Millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Got an injured player? No problem. At DraftKings.com, it's like a new season every week, so you're never stuck with the same players. Pick your team in minutes, and you could be on your way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Get free entry into their $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend, where first place takes home $10,000. Head to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code Spreaker to play for free. DraftKings.com, bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com, that's DraftKings.com.
What is 9/11 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 9/11 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on the link on my website and let 9/11 Tax Relief help you in your situation with your uncle, better yet known as Uncle Sam. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running, but just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your folk. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Yes!
If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thanks for joining your folk. Yes! Make sure when the day's show is done that you tell one person about the livest, the most interactive, most fun show on radio and on the internet. I really would appreciate it, man. I really would appreciate it, all right? Just tell one person. That's all I ask. Damn telling 130 people. Tell one person, just one person, your cousin or something like that. I mean, do you want to deprive your cousin of the gift of the Doug Stewart Show? You don't. Be a good cousin and tell your cousin. All right? Yeah, this is the Doug Stewart Show, and this is a Word on the Street Wednesday. Thank you for joining your folks. We mentioned a little bit earlier, man, but I want to touch upon it again, man. Make sure you see Rand University. Phenomenal. Kind of short. I thought it could have been 30 minutes longer. And, you know, I call myself a movie critic. And I talk about how some of these movies are just too damn long. I talked about that Gone Girl movie. The movie was an hour and a half too long. But last night, this Randy Moss story, the 30 for 30 Rand University, it could have been another 30 minutes. And I don't know if they didn't have any more interesting little tidbits about dude or what. But it was very, very good, man. And one thing about Randy Moss, and we knew this, but it was kind of confirmed even a little bit more last night. Randy Moss is country as hell. Where he's from is just country as hell. Now, I used to live, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I used to live in Roanoke, Virginia, which is on the western part of the state of Virginia. Not too far. I'm not sure exactly how far in geographically in hours it is from West Virginia. But I would believe it's the same type of terrain. And one of the craziest things to me ever was the first time and subsequently whenever I traveled from South Carolina to Virginia, to Roanoke, Virginia. And when you start getting into the Virginia area, you start going around these curves and on these roads that are literally snaked around a mountain, just like you see on the cartoons. It's crazy. And like if you were to go like a half a foot off of said road, and there's no guardrails a lot of times, and if you go like a half a foot off the road, you're going to drop 1,000 feet. It's the craziest, freakiest thing that you'll ever see, especially if you're not used to it. I guess the people up there, they're used to it, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But for a kid growing up in the South that had never seen anything like that before, it'll really scare you. It'll really scare you. But the big thing about that is, if you look down into the valleys of those mountains, you'll see like a house by itself. You don't see any power lines to said house. You don't see any neighbors. It's one damn house. And so I guess those are what you call the West Virginia mountain people. Yes. So they come from the root of country and where Randy Moss grew up. And also another thing, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, another thing that really jumped out at me about this show last night about Randy Moss, Rand University, is how much of a freak he was in high school. Now, we knew he was a freak, and I talked about it yesterday, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I talked about how Bobby Bowden and how Lou Holtz talked about him being the best football player they'd ever seen in his life. But to me, in watching it last night and seeing all of the clips of him in high school, and the dude was like an all-state baseball player, center fielder. He played like shooting guard on the basketball team, all-state. Someone made mention that he could have been an all-pro type basketball player if he really wanted to. And obviously you know what he did in football. But what really jumped out at me is how it was like men amongst boys. Like Randy Moss, the clips of Randy Moss in high school really didn't look any different than Randy Moss as a rookie in the NFL. You understand what I'm saying? It's like he didn't pick up like that good weight that you pick up when you go to college and they got you in this meal plan and they trying to put weight on you to play football or whatever. It looked like to me Randy Moss was 215, 220 pounds in high school, and he was the same size and weight when he played in the NFL. So literally, those little poor kids in West Virginia were playing against an NFL Hall of Fame type player and didn't even realize it. Like, yeah, he's good, but they couldn't see into the future, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They couldn't see into the future that this guy was going to be one of the greatest receivers of all time, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. This isn't a guy who played, linebacker or linebacker in high school, put on some weight, and then had to move down the defensive line, the defensive end or something like that. No, the same dude looked to me. The same dude on the film in high school was the same dude you saw playing for the Minnesota Vikings. Crazy, man. I mean, crazy. And we've all seen guys that it's like, that phrase, men amongst boys. We've seen guys like that. I played with a dude like that in high school, Mike Dingle, and I always bring up his name. He was like the Gatorade Player of the Year, played running back. So this dude was 6'3", 230 pounds, ran a 4.40. He was just a beast. He was kind of like in the George Rogers, Herschel Walker mode. Okay, so that type of guy. So we've seen these guys before, and it's really not fun to go against those guys. I had a homeboy that played, I mentioned Burke the other day, for Burke High School. And he always told me after the fact, I met him years ago after I was out of high school, and he mentioned the fact to me that whenever they played against us, like he really thought about quitting that day. Because he played defensive back, and he had an instant where when JV Mike came around the corner barreling, and he didn't know what to do. And he's like 140 pounds, and said Mike came around the corner when he was in the 9th grade and just straight ran over him, stepped on his chest. So that's not a cool thing. And that's what it looked like to me last night watching this thing on Randy Moss, man. It looked like Hall of Fame Randy Moss playing against 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, 10th and 11th graders that had no business on the same field with him. None. Yes, that's how dominant dude was. Yeah, and that's kind of probably why you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. That's kind of why you heard the comments from Bobby Bowden and Lou Holtz saying that he was the best player they'd ever seen in high school, because the guy pretty much had already developed into a grown man in high school. Crazy stuff, man. So shouts out to 30 for 30. God, man, I look forward to that. I got the one on my DVR right now about the Boz. I still haven't seen that one yet. So whenever I get a free second, I'm going to watch that. But I'm looking forward to that as well. I mentioned it before that at some point, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, at some point we got to have a show on the best 30 for 30s. I mean, we can do a whole show on that. Dougie Daly's What's Your Favorite 30 for 30? Because they've had some phenomenal ones. Almost too many to even choose from. Just a fantastic show. And shouts out to them for what they did, Randy Moss. And once again, man, I mean, we all know a Randy Moss. We all know a Randy Moss. We all know a Randy Moss friend. And that's the dude that was very talented, Actually, the dude that talked about how he got drafted to play pro baseball and he got caught smoking weed and they sent his ass home. You know, how many dudes you know like that from your hometown? I know a couple. Yeah, I know a couple. Every town's got 1, 2, 3, or many, or several. And, yeah, Randy Moss and Allen Iverson, man, they are so fortunate because it could have been so different. That's something else my mother says. It could have been so different. It could have been so different for them dudes. We could have, as sports fans, never even heard of these guys. And we wouldn't even know. It's almost like one of those episodes or that movie Back to the Future. Like one thing would have changed history forever. It was so close that we may not have never even heard the name Randy Moss based on what you saw last night, and we would have never heard the name Allen Iverson. It was so close. Or heard of them maybe if you're one of those college, high school recruiting junkies. You may have heard the name, but then they just would have faded off, like Mike Tyson said, into Bolivia. Yes. And you hear about that every year, about this talented player coming out, but between the time when he graduates and he gets to college, he gets in trouble, and that's it. You never hear of him again. I mean, it happens every day. It happens every single day. And so once again, those guys are truly, truly blessed, man. Great, great story. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Are you not entertained, huh? Huh? Come on, man. I need you to tell one person. As soon as we're done today, tell one person about the livest, the most interactive, the most fun sports talk show in America, where you hear passionate sports talk, real opinions, and we do the damn thing. Yes, that's what we do around here on the Doug Stewart Show. Yes. Oh, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank y'all so much for supporting the show. That's going great. We got another meeting today. Yes. Hey, I'm like Puff Daddy. Ain't nobody hold me down. Oh, no. We got to keep on moving. What? Come on, man. Make your haters your motivators. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to the show and continue to pass the word. Thank you to my producer, the Tree of Life. Shouts out to you, Tree. Thank you very much for what you do. I see you over there smiling. Yes. You make me smile too, Tree. Thank you very much. Also to my man, Waterhead Walter. Walter, I appreciate what you do, buddy. I appreciate it so much. Yes. And CJ, the DJ. Thank you, CJ, for doing what you do. Gerald Oliveri, Dwayne Bassan, my engineering, internet guys. Thank you guys so much for what you do. Continue to pass the word and tell people about the livest, by far the livest, the most real show in America. Thank you to all of the listeners. Thank you very much, all right? We'll do it again tomorrow on a Throwback Thursday. Ooh, we got a good guest lined up for you. Yes, we just got to confirm them. So we got a great guest for you tomorrow on a Throwback Thursday. And so we'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug time, same Doug channel. Peace.